January 15th, 2024, a large portion of the world has dipped their toes into the pool of Gypsy Rose Blanchard and her gut turning story that rose to surface on December 28th, 2023, after she was released from prison after serving 85% of her 10-year sentence. The story of Gypsy Rose has become a media circus and highly sensationalized to another level. But who is making Gypsy Rose this internet sensation? Briefly. Since Gypsy was 3 months old, her mom, Dee Dee, was convinced that Gypsy had sleep apnea and began to take her to the hospital. Although the test showed no signs of the condition, she added many other health conditions as Gypsy got older: epilepsy, leukemia, and other heart conditions. Dee Dee eventually put Gypsy in a wheelchair when she was 7 years old and started homeschooling her. Although Gypsy's father left when she was very young, he tried to stay updated with her medical conditions and believed what Dee Dee told him. While a muscle biopsy found no signs of muscle dystrophy, she proceeded to keep Gypsy in a wheelchair for other illnesses. She was convincing people that had cancer and other things that prevented her from walking, even telling people she was paralyzed from the neck down. How did doctors get away with not knowing this? Gypsy and Dee Dee caught media attention from early on while receiving a host of donations from different charities, grants from the state, trips to Disneyland from the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Habitat for Humanity even built them a home with a ramp in Missouri after fleeing from Louisiana. All of these gifts and honors happened while there were no true illnesses of Gypsy. Dee Dee had what is called Munchausen by proxy disorder. This is a behavioral disorder that is also a form of child abuse when used on a child. A person makes up an illness on themselves or their child to look for sympathy, attention, power, and control. But the big question is, did Gypsy know that she could walk? Absolutely, she did. And she says that she often walked around when no one was looking. The bigger question is, why did doctors agree to certain treatments for this imaginary disorder? One doctor said he knew nothing was wrong with Gypsy's legs because of the muscle mass and her reflexes, but Dee Dee told him all her medical records were washed away in Hurricane Katrina, and he said that he just went with it. How awful is that, right? Gypsy started to get lonely as she got older, and she started seeking out friendships and sometimes boys. Gypsy says that while her mom was sleeping, she would sneak on the computer and message several friends that she knew from Facebook. Now, keep in mind, Gypsy was at the time 18 years of age when she started wanting companionship, which is completely normal for any young lady. Also, keep in mind that there was nothing wrong with her physically or mentally. So, here's where things get very, very messed up. So, she sets up a dating profile on ChristianMingle.com. Now, I'm not sure of what her actual religion was or anything, but this is the website that she decided to go on. She meets a boy named Nick Godijon, a man from Wisconsin who has a history of mental illness, and allegedly he's on the autism spectrum as well. After chatting on the internet for some time with this young man, she sets up a meeting at the movie theater where Nick would eventually meet her mom. At the theater, Gypsy slips away to the restroom. She met Nick there in the restroom as well and ended up losing her virginity, according to Nick's statement, although Gypsy denies those claims. Although her relationship was long distance with Nick, she knew she wanted out of the situation that she was in, living with her mom. She was banned from dating, banned from using the internet, banned from having a cell phone, was sentenced to life without the possibility of parole. Dee Dee's family spoken in the documentary saying that the murder was not the way out. They didn't have to kill her. Please like and subscribe so you won't miss part 2 because there are some very, very disturbing details that I don't want you to miss.